Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Our next guest says empathy is a superpower and has seen its ability to help her patients heal. We welcome back the author of several books, including her all-new The Genius of Empathy, Dr. Judith Orloff. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Let's start with the basics and talk about what is empathy so we all know that we're starting on the right track.
Empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and to see the best in someone. And I think empathy is lacking in our world, and my mission is to spread it around and to open up people more to that again.
It can be really hard to put in practice sometimes, especially with maybe someone in your life that you're struggling with or you don't get along with so well. How can you use that empathy muscle to make a connection with somebody that maybe you don't connect with very easily?
Yes, well, in the book I have ideas and what to say to people in various situations. It's a very practical book, but what you want to do is see someone, hear someone, and value them whenever they're talking to you. And if it's your spouse and you're having an argument, you want to make sure that you're listening to them and you're not checking your phone or you're not saying, I have to come back, but to listen and to value what they're saying, to reach a compromise, as opposed to needing to be right. So many couples get into trouble because they need to be right rather than they want the love and the connection.
And that listening portion can be so hard sometimes because we often are so focused on, like you said, being heard and thinking of our next thing we're going to say. We're not always receiving what the other person is saying to us.
Oh, absolutely. The listening, just listening and looking at someone and giving someone that quality of attention, it feels so good. If somebody did that with you, or if you haven't had that for a long time, it's just a wonderful feeling. And the patterns in our world are so negative that empathy can improve it in your relationships and also with yourself. Having empathy with yourself and not beating yourself up so much. You know, in your head, lots of people beat themselves up.
I was going to say, do you find that's very common that I feel that way? I'm a lot harder on myself than I am of my friends or peers.
Well, that's the whole point. It's so much easier to have empathy for them than ourselves, but we must, and we have to start with ourselves and be kind to ourselves. We go through so much in life, and you want to be your own best friend. You want to be able to say nice things to yourself. If you're going through something, a physical challenge, an emotional challenge, you want to be your friend. You don't want to be saying horrible things about your body or your how you're handling things. So empathy can get you there.
Do you have certain tools or tricks to maybe stop that cycle when you hear that inner voice being mean to yourself, where you can stop and say, hold on, don't talk to me that way?
Well, that's the secret, is to take a breath and stop.
Okay.
Because it goes around and around and around, and it repeats itself. And you have to stop it and then replace it with something else, like an affirmation, saying, you did a great job today, and I am not going there to that dark place. I'm not going there. But you have to stop it, and you have to say, I am not going there.
Okay, that's a great place to start. Let's talk about grudges. That can be a big roadblock to empathy.
It is, because people hold on to grudges and they build and build and build. And what I'm suggesting is you just have empathy for something about the person. Maybe it's that they were beaten as a child and they can't do any better, so they can't be in a relationship with you that's intimate, something like that. But what that allows you to do is to let go of the person. Because if you hold on to a grudge, you're holding on to all that hurt. And yeah, so you want to let it go.
And a lot of us think that we're projecting something on the other person, but really it's harmful to yourself to have all that negative energy inside.
It's true, all the negative energy and all the weight, particularly as you age. You don't want all of the resentments and grudges hanging around, your body.
So tell me about how empathy can actually have healing power to lift us up.
Well, if you do something nice for yourself and say something nice, something empathic, what that does is that increases your immunity, it decreases your stress, and it helps the vagus nerve get stimulated, which is the nerve that relaxes you.
Oh, okay. Very good reasons to show empathy to yourself and to other people. Can you tell me about practicing the sacred pause? What does that mean?
That means when you're about to say something you regret, you stop.
Oh.
You stop yourself. When you say something, you can't take it back. If you say something like, you're a terrible mother or you're a terrible wife, you can't take it back. The other person will always remember that.
For sure.
All right, so you want the sacred pause. You want to say, I'm about to say something I regret. I've been in this position before. Take a breath, pause, maybe take a time out, and then regroup.
And sometimes people talk about maybe writing something down. and giving it a minute to linger and kind of digest what you've written before you actually deliver the message to the person. Because a lot of times after a day or two, the message won't quite be so sharp as you originally felt it.
It won't be, and that's the sacred pause.
Yeah.
That's taking time to write something down.
Yeah.
Or to go and center yourself again. But you want a good relationship with people. And the sacred pause will help you have it. So you don't want to just blurt things out.
For sure. Hey, thank you so much. It was great chatting with you today.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to be at the New Renaissance Bookstore tonight.
Perfect. Here we go. Here's all the information. Judith has her book event tonight at 6 p.m. at New Renaissance Bookshop in Portland. We'll have all the information on our website at katu.com. The book again is The Genius of Empathy by Judith Orloff. And we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.